Let's see an interesting behavior of JavaScript. So when we insert a primitive value to a variable, and then if we insert the same variable to another variable, then very obviously we can have the same value in both variables, right? But when we doesn't insert primitive values, instead when we insert object, then it doesn't act like that. So let's see what I mean. So first of all, let's have a variable called user, and give it a value, string value John, and then person variable, and here we are inserting user. So now, since user have value, the string value John, and then person has user, now both have the same value, right? So if we console log them, then we can see that console log user and then console log person. Now if I run it, and I can see both have the same value, correct? Now if I change person to something else, for example Smith, then, and we can see user is John but person is changed to Smith, right? So this is very obvious and normal output, correct? But it doesn't remain normal if we insert an object here. For example, I have inserted this object to user variable, and then person is also having user variable, and now if I change person's user property, this one, and then it's Smith, and now if I run it, I can see both have the same value. Why is that? I mean, I've changed person's value, but the change we can see in both variable. So it's because when I have written this object, so this has been saved into a separate memory, right? It has taken a memory, and then when I'm referring it to person variable, it doesn't create a copy of that particular object. So it just have a reference of that particular object. So that's why the object is same, but here, since I have referenced it to a person, so person is just a reference point. So now the object is same, we just have to way to describe this object, user and person. So this behavior of JavaScript objects creates a problem in terms of cloning objects. So there will be many times where you would need to clone an object, and when you see this kind of behaviors, so then it will be very tough for you to code further, right? So in this case, object.assign is something that can help us in terms of cloning objects. So let's see how it really help us. So for example, we have a variable, and it's what I'm going to name. For example, its name is user. So user is a variable, and it takes an object where it has two properties, name and then age, 30. Okay, and then we have another variable, person. Now if we clone it in this way, so empty object, here I want user variables object. Okay, user object. Now if I console log them, then what we are going to see. So here person, now if I run as output, so user variable and person variable, we have the same value in both variables. But in this way we cannot see, I mean we cannot really determine if they are separate, the value they have are separate. So in that case let's do this. So here we're spreading user object and we're just changing age property to 40. And now if this really copies, and so what I was saying is so it really copies objects. So that's why we can see the property has been changed, I mean the property value has been changed. So that way we can actually copy objects, right?